No one is trying to run his wife down, and her name is all over the place. Her fingers are all over the place. Let's go to Rod. Rod down in Chesterfield.
Good morning, Jack.
Hey, Rob, how you doing, man?
All right, how are you?
I'm doing fine.
Hey, I was on the governor's side in this deal, but it's more and more. You said you had a little inside information, but it's more and more. This looks like an affair to me. Who gives this kind of gifts? I know he's the governor, but it looks like his wife and the Star Scientific guy might have had a little extracurricular activity going on.
No, we don't need to go there. There's nothing. There's nothing.
I haven't heard no proof.
Why would you make an allegation like that then, Rob? Why would you go like that, man?
He's taking her on trips. He's buying her lavish gifts. He wasn't doing anything for the governor, it sounds like. And then all of a sudden she says, "Oh, you need to buy my husband a watch." And how does this happen without something extra going on?
Well, the extra that was going on was his access and closeness to the governor's office. If I can get his wife's ear, then I can get close to the governor. If I can get his wife in my corner, then maybe she will whisper sweet things and sweet comments to him about us. I think he got to the governor through his wife. And to me, politically, that is a smart move if you want to do it, and you can do it. And obviously, Star Scientific did it, but just didn't get away with it. I really don't think there was anything inappropriate on any other level other than finance and money and gifts. What the picture that I am beginning to get of Mrs. McDonald is a woman that is defined by stuff and acquisition of things, gifts, clothes.
Yeah, it just looks like something more on the surface. I got no proof, no evidence.
Okay. All right. Thanks a lot,
Rob. If that's the case, so happen, maybe something will come out.
All right. Thanks a lot, Rob. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, the Jack Gravely Show coming to you from WLEE News Talk 990. Not going to go down that road until we hear or anything like that. Let's deal with what we know. And, it's very easy and it's very nice and salacious to throw things out like that. I tend not to want to do that unless I have some scintilla of evidence to support it. Jack Gravely Show, 788-0990, 788-0990. But the allegations and the information about Mrs. McDonald and the buying, the trips, the dress, the wedding reception, not the wedding reception, but the wedding dinner, the Rolex watch, the money she received from the board, the travels, it's just piling up. And let me say this. I don't think you can absorb the governor of Virginia from all that his wife is doing, because in my opinion, he knew or should have known. Now, hold on. If he didn't know what Rob just said, might have some validity to it. It may have been behind his back and something else was going on. Don't know. But I'm thinking that this governor knew or should have known what his wife was doing with Mr. Williams and the company. I just think that he should have known. And he may have looked the other way, which gave tacit approval to the conduct and the actions and the gifts. Jack Gravely Show, break time. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Somewhere up a New York way, where the people are so gay.
Jack's just getting warmed up. Come on back after the break on WLEE News Talk 990.
I'm in the car next to you on the highway, heading to work. I sit in front of you on the bus. I work in the office down the hall and stand next to you in the elevator. We've known each other for years, and I've told you a lot about my life. But of all the things you know about me, here's one you don't. I'm one out of every 6 Americans, and I'm struggling with hunger. This isn't an incurable disease. It's not an uncontrollable epidemic. There's enough food in this country to feed every hungry person. This problem is closer than you think. Fortunately, so is the solution. Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 7 meals for those around you, quietly struggling with hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
There's a part of our world that we pay little attention to. Here, An ant drags a seed 5 times its own size. A grasshopper devours a fresh leaf. And a bee sips from a drop of dew. And down here, toxic chemicals and carcinogens are leaching into our environment. They come from objects that we look past every day. Littered cigarette butts. Every one is a tiny toxic waste site. And there are millions of them, right where we live, work, and play. Let's stop the toxic litter. Learn more at rethinkbutts.org. Brought to you by Legacy and Leave No Trace.
For live streaming audio of The Jack Gravely Show, log on to WLEE990.am.
Everybody's feeling great. They're twisting the night away.
Boom, boom.
Here's a man in
Thank you so
evening
very much for
clothes.
staying with us on the Jack Gravely Show. Coming to you from WLEE News Talk 990. Enough on the governor of Virginia and the Rolex. I don't think all has come out yet. I think there may be a couple more pieces to fall, and we're getting at the end of it. But this thing is a lot bigger and a lot messier than some of us ever thought from the very beginning. Let's go up to Washington, D.C. and Supreme Court. Yesterday, the Supreme Court, in its decision, in the minds and the words of many, set back. The Supreme Court struck down Section 4, not 5, of the Voting Rights Act on Tuesday, the provision of the landmark civil rights law that designated which parts of the country must have changes to their voting laws cleared by the federal government or in federal court. It changed the map. Justice Roberts, if you know anything about his history, he worked in the Reagan administration. And ever since he was in the Reagan administration, he has had a desire to totally annihilate and to destroy the Voting Rights Act. Not a part of it, not a piece of it, but the entire act. Yesterday, he and his cohorts on the Supreme Court took the first step in achieving that goal. Let's go to Tony in Bungalow City. Tony, you're on the Jack Gravely Show.
Good morning, Jack. How you doing?
Hey, man.
Hey, man, I want to come back to that, but I want to throw it. Man, when I listen to your radio station, I learned so much because you say you're from West Virginia.
No, I was born in Virginia, but real close to West Virginia.
But this is what I found out yesterday. I didn't know West Virginia used to be a part of Virginia, and they seceded away from Virginia?
The western part of Virginia, during the Civil War, did not want to succeed and go with Virginia to the Confederacy of the Southern States.
Man.
The western part of Virginia succeeded from Virginia. Well, Virginia used to run all the way almost to the Ohio border, man.
So does West Virginia have a governor?
Yeah, West Virginia has a governor. Yeah, they got
This is
people
wild,
and roads,
man.
and they got water over there, man. They have water, street lights, and all that.
I didn't know West Virginia was a part of Virginia. I didn't know y'all had a governor.
Yeah, West Virginia, around before the Civil War it was called. That's why it's called West Virginia, because it was referred to as Western Virginia, out in the mountains and the coal field. And yeah.
Yeah, but listen, yesterday I was thinking about you because I was watching television and I saw all your boys up there in D.C., man, Charles White, Phil, Alfield, they stepped to the microphone, man. They were going out quoting Martin Luther King and everything. I thought they were going to march on Washington, man.
Let me tell you my take on it. First and foremost, black community, the civil rights community, NAACP, and other folk is not the end of the world. That's number one.
Okay.
You got to send a message out to your supporters and your people. Don't get down. Don't hang your head, and don't think it's the end of the world. There was a British writer that once wrote, "We have been wounded. We have not been slain."
What does it mean, though, Jack? Because people don't understand what they took away.
What it means is that about 9 or 10 states, because of their location, they do not have to go through they are no longer designated that these states that have discriminatory voting right laws against black folk are here. It's almost like the justices of the Supreme Court